The New York Yankees have an impossible decision to make as multiple top end prospects in the farm system have been dished around into many reports and rumors surrounding the MLB trade deadline. We'll break down this news and how this decision will inevitably force Brian Cashman to a conclusion that could affect this team's future moving forward. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here on Yankees Digest, giving you guys all the content you need revolving the Bronx Bombers. And if you guys are not subscribed, if you aren't a part of that 25% who are subscribed to these videos, you guys better hit that subscribe button down below. Comment down below to join in on the conversation revolving the New York Yankees. It has definitely been a treat to see you guys tune into all of these videos. Me and Chris appreciate the support that you're giving us as we give you content, a daily dose of Yankees content every day of the week. But let's get right into this video as talking about this report that came out from Brendan Cuddy of NJ.com. He said he believes Spencer Jones could be on the table in a potential deal at the trade deadline. He said he also notes pitching prospects Ben Hess and Bryce Cunningham fall into the same category as well. And I'll talk about all these prospects, Jones, Hess, and Cunningham. But let's start with Spencer Jones, as he is the number 2 prospect in this Yankee system, someone who has kind of elevated himself so far in AAA. He's definitely been someone who has made strides in AAA to be a better player, and that's a great sight to see if you're Yankees fans and the Yankee organization, but he is still a very boom or bust prospect. He is raking this year in AA and AAA combined, and it is getting fans very excited about his development. However, he really still strikes out a lot. But what he has right now is he has the buzz. He has the hype around him right now that is very encouraging to other GMs of other teams that are looking at the Yankees farm system and trying to poach prospects to help build their team. And just a little bit more about Spencer Jones is that I read on Ryan Garcia's report on Spencer Jones' development. He said Spencer Jones has a 16.1% barrel percentage and a 93.1 average exit velocity. He's displaying 80 grade raw power while observing improvements in his contact abilities. This has resulted in a 437 xWOBA, which is utterly elite for the AAA level, even with the run environment being more extreme than the other full season levels, with the Arizona Diamondbacks reportedly valuing Spencer Jones as a trade chip in a potential Suarez deal, according to NJ.com. He could serve as either an excellent piece to cash in at the deadline or a 2026 outfield option. And yeah, talking about Spencer Jones, his hype is right up there. His hype is right up there with any top prospect in the MLB. And just a little bit more about what he has done in AAA. Just looking at the stats, he had 2 hits last night, and he has had a hit in every one of his AAA games. I mean, that's utterly insane. He has a 386 batting average at Scranton, 1.258 OPS, which is out of this world, 8 extra base hits, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. And just to add on to it, he's 6 for 6 in stolen bases. I mean, when you look at those stats at face value, I mean, like you're blown away, because a guy who has just kind of struggled in AA for the past couple years, who has had a lot of hype around him, he's finally living up to that hype now in AAA, and he's been on an absolute tear. And this is definitely intriguing going into this deadline, because you may not get this value out of him ever again. So Brian Cashman's going to have a really interesting decision when looking at Spencer Jones as a prospect, whether he is the future of the New York Yankees in the outfield, or will he be a trade chip for a future piece to get at the deadline to get a championship right now. But just a little bit more on Spencer Jones and his development in AAA. This was Zachary Rotman at Fansided. He said, of the prospects who figure to be available at this year's deadline, Jones might have the highest ceiling, giving the Yankees a prime opportunity to land a bona fide star in exchange. The Yankees might not be comfortable trading a player as talented as Jones, but if it lands them a high-end contributor, they'd be foolish not to, especially with the strikeout issues in his game still very present. And yeah, it's definitely something that has been present in Spencer Jones' game ever since he has been drafted. I mean, he was drafted in 2022, so he had a lot of seasoning in the minor leagues. He has 21 home runs and 43 RBIs over AA and AAA. He has a 297 average, which is better than his overall career average in the minor leagues. But as I mentioned before, he's very boomer bust. So definitely an interesting thing to talk about when you're talking about Spencer Jones and what he means to another team that's trying to rebuild their team, such like the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Arizona Diamondbacks. What do you guys think? Comment down below what you guys think on Spencer Jones. But let's move to Ben Hess, the first-round pick in the 2024 draft. He was the number 3 prospect in the Yankees farm system, and something that really blows me away is his pitches. I mean, he overpowers hitters with a 92 up to a 99 mile per hour fastball, and not just having the velocity with his fastball, he also has a mid-70s curveball. I mean, that's insane stuff when talking about a starting pitcher who is a first round pick in 2024, who is making strides in high A with the Renegades with his first full year at minor league baseball, and he's definitely showing it so far in high A. And just a little bit more on Ben Hess and his season so far. He's 4-2 with a 4.20 ERA in his 11 games started, and he also has 72 strikeouts. I mean, he's only 22 years old, so he's still young, and he is definitely an intriguing trade chip that the Yankees could trade. But he was their first round pick in 2024, so he's definitely, a young guy that the Yankees farm system probably want to develop, but we'll see moving forward with Ben Hess. Just an interesting prospect overall. But we look at just what he's done recently. He is the number 3 prospect in the MLB farm system for the Yankees, and he finished the day with 6 strikeouts. Over 3 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Just unbelievable stuff from Ben Hess, even in a short line of work. But when we talk about another guy, Bryce Cunningham out of Vanderbilt University, he was the second-round pick in 2024. People liked him a little bit better than Ben Hess. He is really right behind Hess at number 4 in the Yankees farm system. He has a mid-90s fastball that taps out at 97. So you talk about 2 guys that have high-velocity fastballs, with 99 for Hess and 97 for Bryce Cunningham. The thing he has is that he really still needs to develop his changeup. It really falls out of the strike zone, and that causes a lot of walks and causes a lot of potential damage for Bryce Cunningham. And just a little bit more on both of these guys is that Ben Hess so far 4.32 ERA, but you look at that ERA for Bryce Cunningham, 1.93 ERA, and they're both on the same trajectory in high A. So definitely 2 guys who are making their killing out in high A. And just a little bit more on both of these guys. Hess and Cunningham. This is on Sports Illustrated. The rotation is hurting until Luis Gil comes back. The bullpen isn't as deep as previously thought, and the young breakout bats that were powering one of baseball's best lineups have all hit a snag at largely the same time. To address those needs, Brian Cashman could dangle either of his top 2 picks from last year's draft. Righties Ben Hess and Bryce Cunningham both are tearing it up at high A, and both fit the profile that the Yankees excel at replacing via drafting and development. And definitely when talking about Brian Cashman, he has definitely a really big decision when looking at 3 of these guys, Jones, Hess, and Cunningham. And it's going to be very intriguing to see what he deals with them. Do we think that he is going to dangle 2 guys that he just drafted in 2024. I mean, that's a little out of the ordinary when thinking of that. But if it's going to get someone who is going to make an instant impact, it might be the price that they have to make. And then with Spencer Jones, his ceiling is at an all-time high. So definitely two guys who are very interesting three guys who are very interesting for the Yankees to get some value to try to win a championship in 2025. And a guy that I've said over a couple episodes that I really want, Nolan Arenado from the St. Louis Cardinals. Nolan Arenado. I understand his contract. I understand that the Yankees are going to have to eat some of his money. I understand that he's 34 years old, but he has the chemistry with Paul Goldschmidt. He has the chemistry with Goldschmidt, and he's pulling the ball much more this year. And I think his legacy to win a ring with the New York Yankees and be an elite third baseman, I mean, you can't really get much better than that. 245 batting average, 10 home runs, 42 RBI. So definitely a guy that's very intriguing, and I would love to see in pinstripes. And just something I saw on Nolan Arenado from Joshua Dimer at SB Nation. He said, offensively, I wonder if there's one last gasp of offense left. Arenado doesn't strike out that much, and he's getting the ball off the ground more than he did last year, particularly to the pull side. And pulled fly balls are what scores runs. Critically, for a 34-year-old, he can still hit fastballs too. So yeah, Nolan Arenado, definitely a guy I want in pinstripes because I feel like he can excel in a big market. I know he has been in Colorado. I know he has been in St. Louis, but the lights would never be as bright as when he'd be in the Bronx. And that'd be definitely interesting to see what he looks like in pinstripes. He has the elite defense, and he has that bat that can make a legacy run at a championship. But that's going to do it for another edition of Yankees Digest. Appreciate all your guys' support. Subscribe, comment down below. What do you guys think regarding all the players that I talked about? And I hope you guys have a great night, and let's go Yankees.